Welcome to the Pastor Hour. My name's Glyn Watson, and this lovely gentleman beside me is
Trevor Casey. And good afternoon. Sorry we're slightly late, but we had a bit of a technical hitch.
Yes.
But I think everything's working now, is it?
Maybe the YouTube link that has been sent out prior to this may not work, but anyone who is subscribed to our channel will automatically get the update that we are now live. So whoever may be watching this in the future and searching for us, we are sorry. Well, at least I am, because I'm the one who set it up. But if ever there was a reason to subscribe to us at Sussex Street Christian Centre...
Hang on a minute. Here we go.
No! What, you're not going to subscribe then? Have you even subscribed yourself?
I have to Sussex Street Christian Centre.
Yeah. Well, that's the channel you need to subscribe to if you want to get live notifications.
Oh yes, because it's changed.
What's changed?
Well, we're not DCVC SCOC or whatever.
We're not GYVOCY
That's
anymore,
the one.
which is stood for Generate Youth, which is the youth club here, as well as Vale Clwyd Youth Mission, or Vale Clwyd Mission, which is a project that I work for. But yeah, if you would like to subscribe to our channel to get automatic notifications, hit the notification bell next to it as well, and yeah, you'll get all the information that you need. And you'll get all the other things that we do here at Sussex Street. But right now it's the Pastor Hour, and have you introduced yourself?
I did.
Good. Did I introduce myself?
You did.
Good.
Big news. Hot off the press.
Hot off the press.
This is now, let me tell you, the Assistant Minister at Sussex Street Christian Centre. How about that? He doesn't look impressed, does he? Never mind.
Thank you.
What's happening on the show today then, Glyn?
Well, we're going to have some rooted questions, as we have done in the past. We have had a question given to us that we're going to reflect on, we're going to discuss. Trevor, do you want to explain a little bit, like a little snippet. You know, a little snippet about what it's about.
So currently the world is gripped by pandemic fever.
Pandemic fever.
So everybody's up in arms about COVID-19 and what that might mean. And some Christians have responded in different ways. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Is there a right response to the pandemic and what's going on in our world as it stands at the moment? So we'll come to that later on. The other big news is that we've got some new chairs.
We have. Should I show you them?
Yeah.
Look at these beauties.
Very good.
Woo! Look at that.
If we kind of shuffle uncomfortably or fall off or whatever, it's because we're not quite used to it.
You can just start playing around with them.
No!
They're a bit brutal when you get going, but anyway. Yes, they're very comfortable, aren't they?
They're all right, actually. It just takes a little bit of getting used to because, as you'll see behind us, we've moved. We were in an office upstairs. We've now changed locations rather than having to keep moving all of our equipment from one place in the building to another. We're trying to experiment with broadcasting from the meeting room in our church, the sanctuary as we would call it, which is where we do our services on Sunday morning. But as a result, we noticed that the chairs that we were using were not quite high enough for what we needed. So Glyn has purchased these new chairs.
Sourced some, yes indeed.
Which are quite comfortable so far. But yeah, as you can see, if you kind of move around too much, then they have a tendency of kind of moving a bit. So maybe you need to put a foot on the floor or something.
Indeed.
So rooted questions then.
Yeah, your rooted questions are there on your
Shall
left.
I go first?
I've put this chair a bit too high, I need to swing around.
We've only got a few left now, haven't we?
I think so, yes.
Yes, we have. Oh, that's the wrong way around, Glyn. We can't have that. Right, so here we go. Are you ready?
I don't know.
Ignore the one that I just dropped on the floor.
You just chucked it at someone, did you? Very kind of you.
Right, are you ready?
I think so.
Choose a card.
Thank you. What does the word home mean to you? hang on, just bear with me. I've got to sort this out. This is going to take some getting used to.
The word home.
I was trying to. All right, my foot is now on the floor. I'm not going to spin.
You're not going to spin anymore.
What does the word home mean to you, Trevor?
Home is where my heart is.
Okay. Right.
Yeah, home for me is the place where I kind of meet with family, I guess. So that is for me in Rill, where we live, and I class this as my hometown, I guess. Yeah, I don't really know what else to say about that.
No, it's an interesting question, isn't it? But somewhere where you feel safe, secure, somewhere that you can sort of let your hair down without any form of
Yeah, I guess so.
safety, security, comfort.
Yeah.
Security, comfort, safety.
Yeah,
Just
and
gonna
I'm
put
sure
them in
that
different orders.
for different people, home might mean different things. For some
Yes.
people who've perhaps had difficulties, home for them might remind them of some unpleasant memories and things. So I get that. You know, it's not the same for everybody, but for me, home is a place where I look forward to being, because it is the place, as Glyn says, where I can kind of be myself and relax a bit more than I would when I'm doing other things.
Yes.
Anything to add to
I
that?
agree.
Right, I'm going to pick up.
It's my turn now,
With
isn't it? To choose
difficulty.
card.
Yeah. Oh, we've had that one before.
Okay, so my card to you is
Is
going to be chosen by you. That's a lovely sound effect, that, Trev.
I think we've had this one.
Have we?
Yeah.
What is it?
It says, "What do you look for in a friend?"
Yeah. Oh. Everything's falling apart, Trev. We're going to have to use another one, I'm afraid.
Okay. That one. Okay.
What is it?
It says, "How would you describe good?"
How would you describe
How would you
good?
describe good?
How would you describe good?
And not in a Jim Carrey kind of way.
Oh.
It's good.
Good. Okay, something that is, you know, when you've got like words like exceptional.
Yeah.
It's that's a really tough question, because we have things like when we think of goodness.
Yeah.
What does goodness actually mean?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So, if you were thinking of...
Nothing about something is bad. It's just good.
All right, it's just good. Okay. So, do you think it's a good descriptive word? So, hear me out.
Yeah.
Somebody that's very close to me, if I say, "Oh, that was nice," that particular person would say, "What does that mean?" That doesn't mean anything, because nice is just like
Pleasant.
middle of the road kind of word. And I think that's,
Okay.
I might put good in that sort of thing. So if something wasn't very nice, well, I'm going to confuse you now, because
Going to confuse me.
when I was
Sorry, I'm just checking different
Young.
things on here. Yep.
good meant good, but latterly good has become, well, no, hang on, so bad now means good, doesn't it, in some
I think
circles?
so. Yes.
So slight confusion from that. Anyway, nevertheless, I guess if you were to kind of line up some of the different words where bad was something that wasn't very pleasant, good might be kind of mediocre, it'd be okay, somewhere along the kind of nice sort of level.
Mm-hmm.
If something was excellent or exceptional, then that might lift it even higher. But I guess it depends on your use of words and how you feel about.
If someone's done something good and and they've done a a reasonable job, let's say, or a good job,
Yeah.
it's because they've met the target, right?
Yeah.
They've met the brief. If you were asked to do something and you did a good, and see, it's really hard not to use the word when you're trying to describe it. It's just a word that you use to describe.
You did a
something.
cracking job there, lad.
Yeah. Well, cracking, I would say, actually, that's probably up there with exceptional.
Oh, right.
You did a good job there. You did a cracking job there.
Cracking job, yeah. Amazing.
Amazing. Okay, well, they're the two root questions. Do you want to do your little thingy-majig?
Do that now? Yeah.
Or while you get yourself set up, there's a few notices that I want to share with you.
This is this is one of the weird things of our modern world. So the reason I'm kind of leaning my head this way is to try and... Oh, there goes the phone, everybody. That's one of the things we need to figure out by next week. So I'm now going to type in, because my face recognition won't recognise me from that distance. Excuse us while the phone goes. I'm not going to answer it, but you might hear my dulcet tones as the answering machine cuts in.
Hello!
Oh, it was you, wasn't it?
No, it's not me.
They've hung up. They don't want to talk to us that badly.
They must.
Unless it was one of you wonderful people.
Of course.
In which case, put a comment in on the comments section.
If there's anything in particular that you've heard or would like to define good for yourselves and share with that, then please do that. At this particular point in time, having looked at YouTube, I cannot find this video being played, but it is on Facebook Live, right? But that's not a problem. That's fine. What I'll do is you'll shortly have this video after 6 o'clock where I upload it for everyone to watch. It's a big oops on my part, so I apologise for that.
Still counting down, that's why.
Well, no, you're playing the wrong one. But anyway.
Oh, so that's the one.
That's the one before.
That's the one before.
But anyway, not the smoothest of starts, but that's fine. We will end smoothly.
It's not been a good beginning, but we're going to end well.
Yes, exactly.
More about that later.
End well in a good way.
In a good way. We are.
We are indeed.
So,
okay.
We have encouraged you to ask us questions, to bring to our attention different things that you might have thought about, you might have pondered yourselves, or you might have just kind of had a burst of inspiration where you think, well, what does that mean? And it can be anything, really. But anyway, we've had a few questions. Glyn took on the responsibility last week of thinking about something which has completely vacated my head. What did you talk about last week?
Oh, I spoke about should we as Christians consider celebrating the Jewish feasts and festivals. I argued that we should consider doing it in the light of their fulfillment of some of them, because the Jews are still looking forward to a lot of the things that we would consider fulfilled because we believe that Jesus is the Messiah. Yeah. But for the festivals that, even for them, they're looking forward, we also look forward to, like, Judgment. I'm trying to remember them now. There's Rosh Hashanah, Sukkot, and there's a third, but we would celebrate them looking forward and waiting in expectation on God. That was my thinking on it, that we possibly should. There would be no harm in doing so.
Absolutely, and we have a lot to learn as modern day Christians. Then that is something that perhaps we should take on board. So this week we're thinking about what's going on in our world currently, and somebody asked, well, I've seen on some of the Christian channels, so I don't know what they're all called, to be honest, but the TV channels that there are about, I know there's like Premier Christian Radio and various
all those things.
Others.
Give me your money.
But there are other Christian TV channels, and I believe from this person that it was one of those that they were watching, and the preacher on there was basically saying that the current pandemic, the COVID-19 situation is God's judgment on this world. So, yeah, a big question, but we're going to try and answer that in a not very long time. This is not, by any stretch of anybody's imagination, meant to be a definitive response. I think you could discuss this sort of thing for hours and hours, but this is just kind of a snapshot of my thoughts, what I feel about the current situation. And I guess the first thing to say is I do believe in a God of miracles. And therefore, you know, when events happen around the world, whether they are good or bad, I believe that, you know, God is in control, and therefore I have to accept that sometimes situations may be occurring where I can't really get my head around the purpose behind it. But having said that, particularly as my computer's now decided to switch that bit off, what I think we also need to kind of understand is that it's all too easy to attribute these kind of events to a quirk of nature. Oh, well, it's just, you know, a mutation of a virus, or it's just something that happens. The forces of nature have kind of come against us, that sort of thing. And I think there's a danger in that. In the Bible, if you think about the Pharaoh, when Moses went to see Pharaoh, it talks about he hardened his heart. And I think there is a danger of us that we harden our hearts towards the miracles that God might be doing. So is it part of a larger pattern? Is the pandemic part of a larger pattern? Now, if you think of the things that have happened in our world, so think of the tragedy in London where bombs were set off, or the huge explosions in America, the 9/11 catastrophe. You know, those are awful things. And those were driven by people. But then think about the kind of more what we would call natural disasters. So think about the difference in our weather patterns, particularly over the last year or two. Or think about the kind of sandstorms or hurricanes that have occurred. They call them names. And I think they alternate between a male and a female name. Did you know that?
Yep.
I didn't know that. So
and they go up
the alphabet as well. Yeah. So there's been Katrina, Marina or Maria, Irma, Harvey, and so on. Then we had the swine flu crisis. We've had the BSE or mad cow that happened. The wildfires in California. There's all sorts of things going on in our world, and quite easily we could just say, oh well, they're natural disasters, or they're as a result of us as humans not looking after our planet. Or we can write them off as just an act of nature. But we could think about those in a different way. So thinking particularly of the COVID-19, we could say, well, this is God bringing his divine judgment. And I understand that. I can see why people would say that. I think there is a danger in saying just a kind of blanket thing like that. There was a lot of damage, I believe, done years ago when HIV and AIDS was kind of a new disease, a new difficulty. And and people were pointing the finger, and this was God's judgment on people. So I think there's a few things that we can consider from that. First of all, I guess from our point of view as Christians, we need to try and figure out for ourselves, okay, where is God in these particular crises? If we take it to its ultimate, if we use terminology like I did before and say, well, God is in control, then does that mean that God causes these things? Because if he's in control, then he could stop them as well as allow them. So that's one area. The other thing that I think we need to remember is that God is passionate about people who are vulnerable. So in the Bible it talks about the orphan, the widow, the immigrants, the refugee. That, if we kind of close our minds to helping those sort of people, then God maybe will try and wake us up. And if we pray but ignore those type of people, then maybe God will try and encourage us to change our attitude. In the Bible, in one of the books there called Proverbs, it says, whoever shuts their ears to the cry of the poor will also cry out and not be answered. But sometimes, we might pray that God would change our situation or change our world. But sometimes that doesn't happen because maybe our attitude is wrong. So let's think of this, the pandemic. Is it a judgment from God? And I want to encourage us all as church, as Christians, to not point the finger. Okay, it's very easy, as I mentioned about the HIV, the AIDS thing, that we start, oh, well, it's because of this, and it's because of that, and it's their fault, and it's that particular group of people's fault, or whatever. And I don't think we should do that. Now, I'd like to think that the whole world could have this view, but we can't change everybody else. But we can change our response as Christians. And so I think one of the things that we should do is actually to look at ourselves. And so the Bible uses a word called lament. And it doesn't just mean being sorry or kind of... how we talked about this word good, and where that sat in the whole kind of scheme of how well you'd done at something. Well, I think lament is a similar sort of word. So if you were sorry about something, you can, as a child, your parent might say, well, you need to say sorry to your sibling for bashing them over the head with the toy car. And you might think you were justified in doing what you did, so you kind of force out a grimaced kind of sorry. And that really doesn't have any meaning, does it? But if we lament something, then it's like we're really upset about something. We're distraught about that thing. And in the Bible, in the Old Testament, what they would do to show that they were really upset would be they would dress up in sackcloth, and they would go round then with wearing the sackcloth, and then they'd put ash from a fire over their heads, and they would show people that they were really unhappy about a particular situation, about what was going on. So maybe we as church need to look at ourselves before we start pointing the finger at other people, and maybe we need to start thinking about, okay, well, what is God trying to say to us as church in this situation, rather than just immediately pointing the finger at the world out there. So that might be a good place to start. The other thing, as he tries to get his screen to spring to life, there we go, is that maybe we need to then say, well, God, will you forgive us for what we've done as the Christian church? Would you help us to lament? Would you help us to be sorry? And then, rather than condemning other people, rather than pronouncing God's condemnation or God's judgment on other people, if we repent, if we come to that place where we acknowledge that we are as wrong as everybody else, then maybe we can start by relieving the suffering of others. We can start by sitting with people who are grieving. We can start caring for those who are sick, encouraging people who are weak, comforting those who have been affected or afflicted. I think with this pandemic, we see perhaps the seriousness of God's demand for repentance. First of all, for the church, and I believe that if we can figure that out, then maybe we could have an opportunity to share that with the world out there. My fear is that we will ignore this, that we think we're the church, we're the Christians. This is not a message for us, this is a message for the world out there. And I think if we do that, then perhaps we miss what God is actually trying to say in these situations. So those are my thoughts. They may not be your thoughts. You might want to disagree with that, and that's okay. Not asking you to necessarily agree with me. We don't want to tell you what to think. We at the very least want to give you some thoughts and give you the opportunity to kind of share what you might think as well. Glyn.
Oh, hello.
Anything to add to that? Any disagreements maybe?
No.
No?
So, yeah, No, I haven't got anything to add.
Okay, thank you. Comments would be fab. We have got questions lined up for the next week or two as well. But again, as Glyn said before, just send us a message, ask us a question, make some comments. We're very open to that. This is a dialogue. I think it says on there. No, it doesn't say on there. Chatty. What happened to Chatty Pasta? Did that get superseded?
Well, Pasta Hour seemed a little bit more sort of
In
streamlined.
There. That's okay.
And we're chatting.
We are chatting. And it needs to be a conversation between Glyn and I, because we're here, but also with you out there. And we have enjoyed... No, we haven't enjoyed any of the challenges, actually.
I haven't been bothered. We've got a good one coming up just now, and that's probably why he's saying he's not enjoying the challenges. Now, if you've noticed, if I just zoom into this bit here, and I move this a little closer to you. Oh, yes, we are going with the big one. We are going with the leg waxing challenge this week. Trevor has volunteered his leg, or a leg, both legs? One leg. Let's go with one leg.
I thought we were both doing... Don't suddenly...
Just let me finish.
Oh, okay.
Are we doing both legs?
Do we need to do both legs?
Well, you're going to play badminton, aren't you? Or you're going to be wearing shorts?
I might wear long shorts.
That's it. So if one leg will be more streamlined than the other. So shall we go with one?
Go with one.
Today. And we'll wait a while until the leg hair grows back.
Yeah.
Is that fair? And if you want to see both legs being done, then what we'd like to encourage is, because a lot of the stuff that we do here is indoors, but believe it or not, we are under a roof. But the roof is in a bit of a pickle. It needs a bit of TLC.
It does need some repairs.
Or replacing.
Roof repairs.
And we are looking at getting quotes, but not just the quotes, but the price to repair and replace is quite a lot. So if you would like to see this sort of stuff continue and would like to help us out financially, then any donation would be gratefully received. And you can get the bank details of how to do a bank transfer to us on our website, on the giving page, and it's all the details that you need are on the standing order form. The website is www.christiancentre.info, and you go to ministries and then giving, or at the bottom you can search giving and then you'll be directed to the page. Should we get on with this? No? Well, believe it or not, I've got something that might actually help us out a little bit. It's not a shaver. It's a table.
A table? What do we need a table for?
To put your leg on.
Oh, right, okay. Hang on.
There you go.
Have we got a suitable...
Oh, and by the way, we are our own bubble.
Yes, we are.
Okay, so we can be quite close together.
Here we go. How about this one?
Silence, Earthling!
But what you can do, or what I will do right now, is I'm going to sanitize, homemade sanitizer.
Yeah.
I'm going to sanitize my hands. This stuff's... just the smell of it
It's
can
good
make
stuff
your
though,
eyes
isn't
go a bit cross-eyed. But anyway. So, Trev, would you like to expose your leg for me?
I have worn suitable clothing. They have a zip at the side, and I can...
Oh, what hairy legs you have, sir.
Well, no, actually,
They're not that hairy. Mine are
look quite
much hairier
bald,
than
they?
your legs. So,
Oh, that's
I
cold.
spot what's cold.
The table. My sensitive leg.
The question is, do we do strips? Well,
how
because
else
there's
would you
there's not much hair on your legs, is there? Let's be fair. You don't want to be touching your legs, or do you want to do the rubbing?
No, you're fine.
I've got to do the
Is that-
pulling though.
2 then, is it?
Yeah, they're a bit odd. So these are Veet, but other brands are available. And they are incredibly sticky. So yeah, just grab
No, so
pull
it's
that.
not wax then, it's
Oh,
sticky.
it's like gel. So do you want to do the rubbing?
Go on then.
Right, I'll put that there.
There's
There
no
you are.
going back now, is there?
No, of
once it's
course
on?
not. Just get it. Oh, there you go. You're gonna, yeah. Tell you what's gonna happen.
Do you notice?
What?
Okay, so the baldy bit is on this side of my leg.
Well, I'm gonna go for the hair, aren't I?
Quite deliberately, somebody...
Oh, hang on.
What now?
No. I need to put that under there, don't I?
Why?
Why? So that, there you go, keep rubbing.
Not sticky though.
Oh, yeah.
How many of these are we putting on?
Oh, I can't do them too quick, otherwise they do that. That's a shame. So you're gonna have like a little tuft in between those sticky bits. How many are we doing? Should we just do 4?
4. Is there enough for you then?
Oh,
that's the
there's
main
plenty.
thing, isn't there? You know, we don't
There's
want me to
more
be
than
lonely
No, of course you
in
don't.
this task.
Lonely. Alright, I'll do the bottom bit first because this is going to be so funny, Trev. Do you realise that? You're just going to have one strip of hair in between them. This is... Yeah, let me put it on.
You know that question before about what is
Sovereignty.
what's good,
Yes, this is good.
and then you said
Does
this
it feel
is
weird? There you
this
go.
is going to be funny.
Yes.
I think our definition of funny or good might be changing somehow.
It's not for me.
You're enjoying this.
I'm enjoying it, but the thing is, I'm going to have to do this.
Yes, you are.
Okay, so...
Because you think you're going to get away with
Well,
that.
I'm not going to get away with anything because, believe it or not, my hair, my hair on my leg is so much hairier than yours. So, anyway,
They are a bit strange, aren't they?
yeah, how's it feel? Do you want to do it or do you want me to do it?
I think I should.
Why? Okay, I'll do 1, you can do the other 3. It's got to be done very quickly.
Okay, yeah, that's what worries me.
So, yeah, so you need to grab hold of that.
Go on, and you do the
And then,
first
no,
one.
no, and grab the
Oh,
whole
you do
thing.
it. Go on, you do it.
That's not that bad, is it? Is it bad?
The afterburn on that. Oh my goodness. Wow.
Smooth, Trev. Smooth. We've got some.
Thank you for that.
It's okay. We've got some of this as well, which is sensitive cream, leg, body, and sensitive skin. You've done very well. That wasn't what I was expecting at all. You're going to have a lovely line of hair. Go on then. You do that one.
Am I going to? I don't know if I want to. I think I'd rather you did it actually.
Okay, I'll count you in. Should I count you in at 3?
No, just do it.
I'll count you in.
I'd rather not know.
1, 2.
Oh, you know we're ministers, don't you? Well,
this is what I trained for.
I did find on the so Glyn's got a noise machine. I found it, and it wasn't too bad. And he left half the plastic behind.
You can pull that way then.
Thank you. Okay. And there's one of these, you know, the beep noise for swearing. I can feel that.
Is that really bad?
Ow! That's worse.
Fair play, Trev. Taking it like.
That's what I like. One of those laugh or cry, and I think laugh is probably the better option.
Of course. That's quite a lot of hair that's come off there. Do you want me to finish all this off?
It does look a bit odd now, but I think I'll pass.
Could you reckon you could lift your leg
Do
up
I want
a little
to
bit
match it all up? No, I don't. Hang on a minute. Let me just get to a slightly different position.
Okay, I don't know actually.
Will it get to there?
Yeah, can you see the lines there, people? He's got like a cross on his leg. That's cool.
Spiritual thing.
Indeed, that's exactly what we were going for.
Things you do as a minister.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so your turn now. Was it bad? Do you want to rub some of this on your leg?
It's still quite tingly now.
Is it?
Oh, and actually it's quite...
It's still got a lot of stick.
It's sticking to me trousers. So what, do you just rub that on to ease the pain?
Is it really that bad?
You're about to find out, my
I'll
friend.
find out, don't worry. Okay.
Is this going to take the sticky stuff off?
I have no idea, if I'm honest.
Like moisturize.
Okay, we're going to have to...
So, if anybody does this sort of thing on a regular basis, respect to you. That's all I can say.
I told you, like my hair, although you can't see because I've got fair hair on my legs, it's hairy.
That's going to hurt, mate.
I know. Right. Wow. So yeah, they're a bit tough to open, but we'll get there.
4 of these.
Indeed.
Did you explain that?
What? It's really sticky stuff.
Actually, under the new guidelines,
yes,
which come in tomorrow.
Yes.
How many did you open these?
Try it from the other side.
We might have to have a rethink about. Well, because you're not allowed to be in a bubble with anybody from a different household.
So you can't even do work.
Well, you can work together. That's what's bizarre. But we might have to wear masks or be a bit more separate. So we'll come back to that, folks. But for today, because the new regulations don't come in till 6 o'clock on Thursday evening. It's
sticky stuff, isn't it?
Challenge just in and of itself. So where
I'll
are we?
grab hold of that.
Okay, you got that one?
Yeah, you can start it wherever you want.
And you're going for, so you've got to go that way, haven't you? So it pulls up that way. Like that. So we'll start one there then, shall we? Okay. Is that the most tender part of your leg?
I have no idea, we'll find out.
It probably should be, everybody.
Oh yeah.
That stinks.
Man. What? What's the? There's a particular scent to these. What?
It's not good.
Oh, you don't like the
Why
smell?
do you need to be scented?
Oh,
why?
Moisturising with shea butter and acai berry scent.
Okay.
I mean, I can't think of anything better than my leg to smell of, to be fair. Can you?
You
leg.
need to rub those in.
Sorry. Yes, sir.
So this isn't actually waxing then, this is like
no,
huge sticking plaster.
Yeah. Yeah, and supposedly you can reuse them. As soon as they're tackiness goes, you stop using them. So you can use them more than once, apparently.
Okay.
Yeah. So up to 28 days of smoothness, Trev.
I shall bear that in.
You should.
28 days. Oh my.
Yeah, so apply one strip to your skin in the direction of hair growth.
Yeah.
Rub a few times in the direction of your...
Yeah. Now what? Rip it off.
And then, hang on. Probably should have read the directions before starting. Well, no, I'd watched as strange as it sounds, I'd watched a YouTube clip. But anyway, yeah. As fast as you can, in one swipe motion, close to the skin as you pull. So I guess you've got to put and then across the skin. But I didn't do that to you, so. But I pulled them fast apart from the last one.
You did. Am I supposed to be grateful for that?
What, that I pulled it fast at the end?
Yeah. So, are you going to do this yourself?
Oh no, it's fine. You have the pleasure of doing it.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
You rub them. Make sure they're all. You know, we don't want any kind of skimping on the stickiness here.
Okay.
Does feel very odd on your leg afterwards, I must say.
What, the stuff? You do realise we're talking about sort of beauty products here, aren't we?
And there's nothing wrong in that. It is no problem
doing waxing
with
your eyebrows next.
Oh, I tell you what, if you think
just go, he's just
after you've experienced this, there is no way that you would.
Hang on, no, stand up and do it because you.
It's got to be nice and gentle with it.
Why?
Well, just so you get the full effect. Well, that's not going to. It needs to be there then. Right, are you ready?
No. Oh, Trev!
Look, everybody. That is Mr. Watson's.
I feel like that. Do you know what that feels like? Dry chicken skin. You know, you just.
Can you not feel that kind of after?
Oh yeah, no. You definitely know about it. You definitely know about it. Okay, get on with it.
So we doing another one?
Yeah. Well, I can't stop now. They're on my leg. Oh, of course I am. Yeah. This one's probably go. Yeah.
Your sister would love to help you with it.
I know several people who probably like it.
Are you ready? Oh,
you know!
Oh, sorry.
That was cruel. That one was cruel.
Sorry. That wasn't a deliberate, but it was quite amusing.
Oh, I'm sure it was. All right,
it hurts, doesn't
it? It's not pleasant, but you know.
Right, well,
I can imagine you getting.
So we'll call that one the slow that you did to me earlier on then.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
I
It's not a tear in my eye at all.
Look at the camera and, you know,
yeah, go on.
make sure they can see the movement.
Not a flinch.
Not a flinch. Not a moment. Inside, it's that.
That's a crazy patch gone in there. Oh, it's missed one. God, Trev.
Yeah, send them back.
Yeah.
These don't work.
You know these.
Yeah, at least. I wonder if you can get a refund.
Yeah, not up to spec.
Not up to spec, right.
Just make sure you grab hold of it.
What, and not pull it gently like that?
Okay. Oh. Yeah, that's Ooh.
Well, that's what happened
crazy,
before.
Isn't it?
It's strange stuff, isn't it?
That's weird. So I've got a lovely.
You've got a nice little.
I've got lovely patches. So I'm assuming that you've got to sort of wash this stuff off. How are you going to wash it off? It's got to be hot water, isn't it? That's going to take it.
It's going to take a while. You've got a spare one. Another one.
Oh, I've got loads. So we use what, 4 each? So that should be 12 left. So 6 thingy-majigs. Well, there you go, guys. We have. Ow. Oh, yeah, that's weird on the leg, on the inside. Right.
So how did your first experience of having your legs waxed?
I can't wait for the next time, Trev.
Really?
I'm really looking forward.
It was okay, was it?
Yeah, I can see why girls do it.
Okay. So, having joked about having your eyebrows.
Eyebrows waxed, yes. Don't make mention of my eyebrows.
Is that something that you would ever consider?
No.
No. Belief.
Well, the thing is, with my eyebrows, they're kind of interesting because they're very fair and I have quite darkish hair. Not at the moment because I dyed it, but there. Oh no, there. My eyebrows tend to fade into my face because they're kind of blonde and you can't see them. So a lot of people make the joke that, oh, have you even got any eyebrows? When in fact I do.
He does.
Have eyebrows.
And it would hurt. I think
pluck your eyebrows?
No, that would...
Just like if someone was to stuff one of these on your eyebrows.
That would make you cry.
Do you reckon?
Oh, man.
I don't know.
My leg is still tingling.
Oh, it is my hair, isn't it, this one? It's like...
It was a sudden, like, uh-oh.
No, but it is a pleasant smell. It's not...
It's not a pleasant experience, though, is it?
Oh, well, it is what it is. So, we are coming up to the end of the show. If you would like to leave any comments, leave us a challenge for this coming week, because believe it or not, we're really needing a push on challenges because no one has yet given us a challenge for the last couple of weeks. So what we need is for you to get typing, come up with the challenge, as long as it's not illegal, immoral or unsafe. We are quite happy to do it. We're able to put ourselves through a bit of the ringer with these.
Leg waxing is a bit unsafe.
How is it unsafe?
Well, I'm fairly certain it's taking a layer of skin off as well as taking the hair.
Well, that's fine. Do you know that? I think, what is it? How often does your skin replenish itself? Is it like every 7 months or something?
Oh, is it?
A cycle of something like that, yeah. As weird as it is.
What, like...
Sheds. You shed so much that...
The top layer the whole of your skin?
Well, it's not like a snake.
Well, no, but it...
Yeah,
presumably, as the top layer goes, then the
7
next
months
layer...
or something.
Does it keep, like, growing from underneath them?
Yeah, well, yeah. Google it. See if I'm right. If I'm wrong, then leave a comment and say, Glyn, you're an idiot.
No, don't.
Oh.
True, kind or necessary?
Explain.
All comments should be... Well, no, in fact, they don't need...
Well, yeah. Qualify it by saying, you know that statement you made about your skin regrowing after 7 months?
It's simply not true.
It's simply not true. And then, give us the right amount of time that it does. I'm sure it was a question on one of our quiz nights during the first lockdown. For many of you, if you are around the Denbighshire area, Flintshire and Conway, it's not Gwynedd yet, is it? The lockdown starts at 6 o'clock tomorrow.
Wrexham, Flintshire,
Wrexham as well.
Denbighshire and Conway.
Yeah.
Are in a localised... Yeah, lockdown is... Some people have said, well, that's a bit of a strong word because it's not a lockdown. Well...
You're restricted to your own county, basically, aren't you? You can't go beyond your county line.
In that it restricts our movement, it is a form of lockdown in that sense. So be safe. Yeah, if you can cut down on the amount of travel that you do, if you can avoid moving from one county to another, don't go and visit your mates or go into your friends' houses. Yeah, just try and keep yourself and other people safe. It's not a nice situation, we know that, but it's my belief that the people in authority are doing their best in an unknown situation. So I respect them and encourage you to both respect them but also to follow the advice that we are being given.
Yeah.
It won't be forever, but it might be for a good few months yet.
I think that's a general rule for everyone, but I guess just as a small... No, let me rephrase it. Being a bit more pointed to a particular age group, the younger age groups, just a little warning or a little encouragement that, look, okay, you may not be in the high risk category and you may not be as susceptible or suffer as much or even get symptoms at all, but you could be carriers. I'm sure you've heard this and I don't want to labour it too much, but you could be carriers. So if you don't listen to the rules and you go out for parties and you go into other people's houses that you know you shouldn't do, you could be spreading it unknowingly and making the situation worse. We all have a responsibility that we need to take seriously if we ever want to get this out of lockdown. If we ever want to see this come to an end, we can't keep repeating the same mistakes. And if this is a mistake that we're making, then we need to stop. And only you know if you've broken that rule in the past. And if you're thinking of breaking that this weekend, then I would encourage you, try not to, unless it's an absolute emergency. Yeah. And an emergency is kind of an emergency, not the emergency is I need to go out drinking.
Yeah, or I need chocolate,
yes.
Or whatever it might be.
Exactly.
Anyway. Any other notices?
Is that Popeye? Sorry. That was a bit of a problem.
That wasn't a notice.
That wasn't a
That
notice.
was a reaction to having your leg waxed, that it's cabbaged your brain.
No, it's going. The theme song's running through my head now.
My leg is still tingling, That's
get over it.
Quite
it's fine.
unnerving.
It's fine. Otherwise, I'll bring the thing out.
Come on, what noise are you going to make for that then?
There is only notices left from me. Just subscribe, hit the notification bell. For those who are watching now and were waiting for the live stream, but you've had to wait until it's been uploaded as a video, I apologise. Technical difficulties. It's my fault. But
it's all.
We hope you've enjoyed the show, even though it's not particularly live, and we haven't been able to do the interactive stuff as we would have hoped. But there's always next week, and we hope that you will join us again next week. So I guess it's bye-bye from me, Glyn Watson.
And it's goodbye from him, as they say.
Goodbye from him. Bye for now.